I've been using the Garmin Venu 3 for about a week now, and I got a lot of thought. Let's get into the specifications, let's get into the app, let's get into its fitness tracking, and really, is it right for you? Let's go ahead and get right into it. First and foremost, there are two versions of the Garmin Venu 3. There's the Garmin Venu 3 and the Venu 3S, which is a little bit smaller, and there's some little tiny things that are going to be different. Of course, the screen size itself. The bigger one is going to be a 1.4-inch AMOLED display, where the smaller one is going to be a 1.2-inch display. They're both going to come with Corning Gorilla Glass. They both have a stainless steel build with a fiber reinforced casing, and they both come with the regular silicone band. The packaging itself isn't really that great, to be perfectly honest. They've never really done that great with packaging in general. Battery life is big this year. They say you can get up to 14 days as a smartwatch and 5 days with an always on. With the smaller one's going to be about 10 days and 5 days with always on. Through my testing, I got about 7 days, but that's with multiple times using the GPS and also using workout tracking, so that is dipping down the battery life by a little bit. Also, if you are looking to go on big runs with GPS, you're going to be able to get about 11 hours with GPS with the bigger guy, and you're only going to get about 8 hours with the smaller one. So if you are looking to go on longer runs, you will need to get the bigger one. The charger this year can use previous models. Pretty much all Garmin's had the same exact charger, but it is USB Type-C this year, so that is a plus. They're both going to come with 5 atmospheres of water resistance. They have the same GPS built in and the same heart rate sensor as well. The heart rate sensor they are utilizing is also on their Garmin Fenix 7 Pro, and that's a $900 watch. So the heart rate tracking is fairly accurate. We'll get into that when we get into the fitness tracking. But it has an altimeter, compass, gyroscope, accelerometer, thermometer, ambient light sensor, and also a pulse ox for blood oxygen saturation. They're going to both come with Bluetooth and ANT+. That is for those extra bands. If you are having any of those bands around your chest and they have an ANT+ rating, they will be able to utilize with Garmin. They do specifically recommend Garmin specific ANT+ devices, but third-party devices can work as well, but your mileages might vary a little bit, so definitely check in with those third-party manufacturers. They both have Wi-Fi, and they're both available on Android and iOS devices. You can use Garmin Pay, so there is NFC payment, but you can't use like Google Pay or anything like that, just Garmin Pay. Smartwatch features. So only the Garmin 3, not the 3S, is going to have Smart Assistant, because it does have an actual speaker and microphone built in this year. That means you are going to be able to take calls on your watch as well. Well, you will not be able to do that on the 3S, and that's one of the biggest differences between the two. But pretty much everything else, you're going to have smartphone notifications. It's going to control your music. You can have Find My Phone, always on screen as well. Incident detection, I didn't really get to test that, but that's also there as well. And on both of them, there is a text message response system. Those are built-in ones that you can edit. You can't actually type a response, but they're built-in ones that you can respond like yes, no, or anything that's basic. The colors on the bigger one, you can get a slate or a silver one. The smaller one, you can get gold, ivory, silver, and slate as well. So that's all the specifications. Now let's get into the app, which is also going to get into our fitness and sleep tracking. So there are two apps. The Connect app is going to have all your fitness tracking and all of this. You can get your treadmill runs. So I was really happy. I did one of those treadmills that are kind of, you use your own body to move it, doesn't have an actual motor in it, and it was extremely accurate. It came in at 3.26, and while the actual treadmill itself said it was 3.23, and that's why I went down. But there's a lot of stats you can get into as well, as far as your speed and stuff like that. And also with the 3 buttons on the side, we'll get into the user interface and the buttons in a second, but you're able to kind of set laps really easy just by a press of the button, which makes it easy to check out your laps. Then there's some other charts, your pace, your heart rate, your cadence of your feet. This was an interval run, so there were some walks built in as well, and that's where you see walk, run, and idle. There was some rest involved, and then your heart rate zones here at the bottom, so there's a lot of things. And if you have any gear like those ANT+ devices, you'll be able to see that here. And then your regular workouts, I just put cardio. This isn't going to give like all the run tracking, but it will give you a lot of ideas of how your heart rate went throughout. That'll be over here and your zones where your maximum, and it was very accurate for me. The only time I really had any issues if it was a little too loose, and I just tightened it and I had no problems whatsoever. I would recommend some bands. I am going to be linking down below. Straps Company is great, and I would recommend a little bit more of a fabric band. I have fabric bands on my previous smartwatches, and it's just a lot more adjustable, so you don't have to have just the notches, and it's a little bit more flexible as well. I'm always a big fan of fabric bands. Now the rest of the stuff here, your heart rate's there, body, battery. This is always fun to see how your heart rate's going. And then you have little things like 7 days. This is all free on the app. Talking to you, Fitbit, or you have to pay for a lot of those things. This is free on the app. Your stress levels throughout your day, giving you little ideas. And then here at the bottom, you can see I had a couple of runs down here. And then of course you can just bounce from day to day how your stress was. And then intensity minutes throughout the week, which is awesome. Your steps, of course, floors, pretty darn accurate. Calories, resting, and active. So your BMR and your active, of course, that's only as accurate as it can be. Sleep score. There is a new sleep coach now. So if you get into all this, gets good into your restlessness, your heart rate, your battery actually being charged throughout your night. And then Sleep Coach is a little bit more advanced now. So it gives you a little bit of an idea what you should be doing. But as far as sleep score is concerned, it's pretty accurate. And as far as the battery is concerned, you're able to use it at night. No problem whatsoever, and charging is real quick, takes about 2 hours to fully charge, so you'll be getting a lot of good sleep data in. So big fan of this for any sleep tracking. Then you have things like your HRV, which does affect your body battery and how your body is recovering throughout. Fairly accurate, not the most accurate thing in the world. I use my Whoop for all my HRV needs, and then a little idea of how yesterday and then the last 7 days go on an average. Then big things in the app, we have challenges. So this is still free. Fitbit apparently took it away in their app, but you still have it here. You can jump on in for a swim, Marvel's Assemble, sure, walk, what have you, but there's challenges. You can even create challenges as well. Huge. And then getting into your calendar, this gives you an idea of how your actual day was. These are all my cardio times. There gives you a little bit of an idea how your day went. Newsfeed. If you have any people that are Garmin people, you can add them into your newsfeed and you can see how their workouts went throughout your newsfeed as well, kind of like a Facebook, something like that. And then more. There is so much stuff into this app. I'm not going to go too in depth into it, but you can do some golf courses here, training and planning. This is kind of big. There are workouts here. Find a workout, 15-minute full body sweat. There are workouts built into the app that you can utilize, and again, it's free. Some people make you pay for that. That's free on the app. Garmin is always big with giving you extra stuff, not just the band itself. So overall, as far as the fitness tracking is concerned, big plus. Running is huge with this, either if it's on a treadmill or if it's on a track or if it's just a straight line run. This is great for run tracking, even interval runs as well. So of course this is a smartwatch as well. It does have 3 buttons on the side. When you tap that top right, this is going to go straight into all of your activities, and you can go all the way down, even more stuff as you go. Bottom right is always going to be your back button, and then your apps are going to be here as well. Hitting that back button is going to bring you all the way home. If you hold that top right button, this is going to be your controls. Do not sleep. You have Find My Phone right here as well, and if you want to turn it off, and you can edit this stuff. You can edit pretty much everything on here. Holding that bottom right button, again, is home. Bottom right button doesn't really have anything as it is a back button, but if you hold it down, this is going to get into your watch faces, clocks, settings, and stuff like that. If you are looking to go to your always on, it took me a little bit. You got to go all the way into system, all the way in display, and then you go into general use. That's where the always on is. It took me forever to find that, and of course you can have your timeout, short, medium, or long when you actually want to have it going, but there are so many different settings in here. I'm not going to get into all of that. When you swipe from up and down, this is going to get into kind of how your day is going, your heart rate, body, battery, sleep score, sleep coach, your notifications here as well. So if you have any notifications, you can click on there. I have a call in a little bit that I need to be a part of. You can edit those, but it's going to be the same thing if you swipe from down up to down. it's going to go through the same exact thing. When you swipe from left to right, these are your shortcuts. You can actually set these up to so many different things, anything that you would like. There's just so much customizability within this that is huge. And if you are looking to respond to any text messages, I just had a text message come in, so I'm gonna go into my notifications, and if I would like, I can get into a reply. But these are editable if you would like to, if I'm out riding, no thanks, what have you, love you, stuff like that. And then this middle button, this is gonna be your assistant. So Google Assistant, Bixby, Siri, all built in here as well, which is, if you like it, that's up to you. And then if you just hit it, this is gonna be all of your recent apps here. On the back, this is where you're gonna have your normal charger here and all of your sensors. And it is gonna be a quick release 22 millimeter band. So it's not 20, it's 22 millimeter. Comes off fairly easy on and off. So let's not get this twisted. It is not a cheap watch whatsoever. It is $450. So it is a great smartwatch and a fantastic fitness tracker. There are other options along these lines. You can go with the Venu 2, which is going to have a lot of the same features, a little bit of a smaller screen, a little bit less battery life, and some creature circumference. It's still going to be very accurate, but it's also going to be less expensive. If you're looking for a better smartwatch, especially if you're in the Android system, I would talk about going with a Samsung, which is going to have the Google Wear OS built on top. It's going to feel a lot more like a smartwatch. You can actually text message people through it. You can even watch YouTube on it. But again, that's going to come with a big hit on battery life, as it really can only do one full day. And then the sleep tracking, you're really not going to get it. But if you are looking for a pretty smartwatch, not the smartest watch in the world, but with great fitness tracking, very good screen, this is going to be great for you. I will be linking all of this down below, and if you use any of my links, a little bit of that purchase is going to help me grow my channel. But if you enjoyed this video, guys, please smash that like button. If you really enjoyed it, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell so you'll be one of the first ones to know when my newest video does come out. I am going to be doing a versus of this and the Venu 2 and this and the Samsung, and they're going to be coming up within the next couple days. But as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, stay positive. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.